this is Bear territory. And while today is the final home game of the season for one team, it is more importantly a celebration, Senior Day, as we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the UCLA Bruins, squaring off with another team from the Pac-12, the California Golden Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Golden Bears will kick it off to get us underway. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. The Bruins offense takes the field. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game, but keep your emotions in check and making sure I'm controlling what I can control.
Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
Some programs just seem to be built for a great passing game. The patron saint of Bruin passers is Troy Aikman.
And honestly, Reese, it makes me think of the UCLA blue, the sweet uniforms with the gold, just quarterbacks looking sweet, McNown, DTR, looking the part, being the part.
Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. Little too soft in that run defense. He picks up 4 to the 32. Last time these two got together, it was a tight one, Jesse.
Seems like every time these two teams play, the game just feels faster, right? Because it is a rivalry game. There's just a greater sense of urgency when we see these teams match up.
Yeah, the fans feel it. They know it. There's so much to it. They think about it all year long. We can talk about...
Oh, what a grab by the defense!
And I know this defense statistically hasn't been one of the best against the pass this year, but they have had some guys banged up. They believe they've got difference makers on the back end that just need to make more plays. That DB right there is one of those guys, and he does it here on the opening drive, getting a huge interception.
Looking for a productive play on first down. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. Fires to the big fella. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. He's looking to throw. He's got his man. They make the stop, but the sweet throwing catch is plenty to give him a first down.
And after giving up that completion, guys, I wonder if the defense is going to decide to stay in zone or maybe mix things up, a little more man coverage, maybe blitz.
From the gun, running back on the move. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Makes the grab on the left. At midfield, he's got room. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
They're going to sit back in zone. I'm going to make sure I know exactly what they're doing, find those holes, find those crossing patterns, and take advantage of that zone coverage.
The give to the back. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
I'll be honest, that is a formation and a play call I was never expecting to see in this game. This offense is one of the top 10 passing units in the entire country. I'm surprised they even have goal line in their playbook. What are we doing?
That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. They'll try to get the first through the air. He's got it. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and goal. So close to cashing it in for this offense. They want to throw it. Into the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Cal. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum is always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
Davis looking to pass. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
And you must do that against a guy of this caliber. This kind of QB will absolutely pick you apart. You got to get hurries, you got to get pressures, and when you can get hits and make him feel the physicality of the game, maybe you can take that guy and knock him down a few notches.
Throws to the wideout. The receiver was doubled, and they picked it off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he...
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. First down sack, pushes it back. Now it's 2nd down. Got his man quickly. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. This is a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting this guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
UCLA will go back to work on offense. after throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
Picks up the first down. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered, an explosive play to the 40.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Davis will throw. Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Fullback's got it. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. That's the end of the period, and Cal is on top. One period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. They've swapped ends of the field, and we're ready to go in the second. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys play with excellent instinct, running downhill and making a tackle.
He's got his man. And he won't quite get there. But, boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. And the Bruins have moved it inside the 20. On 3rd and short, the power run here. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
And that's got to feel good if you're the offense because 3rd down has been a bit of a problem all season long, but you love the way they're executing at this point, finding ways to keep the chains moving.
Turning to the running game on 1st and goal. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. Now on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to the back. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Bruins. Ready to try the point after.
I love running backs that have a nose for the goal line. Understand how to get there, finish strong into the end zone. Know I get 6, and then go celebrate with your boys.
And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
Got some of the work done on 1st. Now let's see what they have on 2nd down. They'll put the tight end in motion. He wants to throw here on 2nd down. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Really nice job there to pick up the 1st down and get it to their own 41.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They'd just been running into a wall. They just couldn't seem to find their creases and get enough movement up front, but they finally got it there, picking up the first. Let's see what happens next.
Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up. And the Golden Bears in the hurry up.
Yeah, defensively, you better be ready to run east and west when you're playing against this offense and their running game. That time, the offense was able to outflank the defense to the right side for a big play.
And that's a mistake you don't expect to see from a senior, and he is lucky to get it back.
That is a tremendous job by the defender on that play because when the ball was thrown, his head was turned around. He was watching the receiver, quickly spun the head, turned his shoulder, located the ball, and then knocked it down.
He's going to pass on second down. This time he's got him. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Golden Bears!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Virginia is trailing right now, but I'm not ready to say this team is out. Not after the way this group has rallied around that coach. It really has been something to see. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to NC State. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Pirouettes through.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
It's 3rd down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we have ourselves a ball game, and they have a chance to take the lead here before the half. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down. They'll try to get it through the air. And he'll pull it in inside the 20. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, UCLA!
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. You trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
And it's no good, and they miss an opportunity to tie. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. You want to talk about answering each other's score. That's what we have going on right now, Jesse.
Yeah, and this offense, it's been impressive just seeing how well they've been executing, too, because they're playing with a sense of urgency, David. They know they've got to go score a touchdown every time they take the field.
It's like a tennis match. You're just trying to break serve at some point, just back and forth. Both offenses having a lot of success in this football game.
That's the way to start a drive. Now they'll snap it just shy of midfield.
That's the one danger defensively when you want to play zone coverage, because you leave a lot of windows and pockets out on the field.
And the ball is caught. He's inside the 35. And the quarterback stuck it right in the keyhole, and they've got it down to the 30-yard line.
This offense is clicking, everything working together really well. Coordinator, quarterback, offensive line. Good rhythm, good flow. Defense is going to have to find something to kind of mess up this timing they got going on.
It's caught downfield. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. Looking to throw. He's got it on the move. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots in the zones. You got to get him involved.
Off the play fake. Lets it fly. And makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Cal.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be concerned. If we're a little bit down, listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build.
He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down.
You know the saying, no risk it, no biscuit. If you want big plays on offense, you've got to be able to take shots. They didn't hit that one, but moving ahead in the second half, expect this offense to keep dialing them up.
And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Looking for that first down on 3rd and short from the 28. He'll take it himself. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Man, the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to be in shape, chasing them around all day on design runs, on scrambles, and, you know, it's just, and the +1 advantage you get by having that guy. It's just, it's so hard to defend.
He lofts one down the sideline. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
When I'm an offensive coach, I'm going to take shots. I'm going to take those 50-50 balls, and most of the time I'm going to trust my wide receiver to come down with it. The defensive back said, no, sir.
Going back to the well, another deep ball. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
You see it in football all the time, right? I get a matchup on the outside. You want to try to play man coverage? I'm going to let my wide receiver.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, what an environment there today. All the animosity and flat-out hatred that comes with a good old-fashioned rivalry game on display in that first half. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this elite wide receiver. This is clearly a young man who, once he's finished playing on Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for finding gaps in the defense. And I can't remember a college player with that kind of catch radius.
The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
What?
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. Get a pass rush like that, and the Bruin faithful will give you an 8-clap in a heartbeat.
They'll get jacked up. They'll get excited. I mean, you think about a defense. You got to get those guys up front. You want to dominate college football. You want to be in the mix. Find those big defensive linemen that can make plays.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the way. Let's see if it stands. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. They'll line up for a second down play. He's looking to throw. Got the quick pass. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
He wants to go deep. Makes the catch down the right side. And he's running in the open. Touchdown, Golden Bears! And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. UCLA will go back to work on offense. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the fourth down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
And those are frustrating because you think you might get points and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one.
Going over the top. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And that's just excellent cover. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board. You still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open. And if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it in the tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
Let's see what they've got on second down. He's got it on the right. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a first down on the play. Precision, execution, and timing to pick up the first down on the out route.
I think you're spot on. Those out routes, man, it's got to be about timing. You got to throw that football before he breaks. Nice job seeing it. Short yard situation, throwing the ball on the money so the receiver can get upfield and get the first down.
Completion a little short of the sticks. It's second down. Leaves it with the running back. And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. Now on second down. Looking to throw it again. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes. And we might as well state the obvious. First and second down didn't work out. Third and very long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Just had to get rid of that one to save the yardage on third down. The Golden Bears send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
And it is another interception. Just a terrible struggle for this quarterback. That can be a momentum changer after the interception. Runs it back to the 37. That was not a great throw. Might even call it ungood. Tried to put some air under it and just made it too easy.
I don't think the quarterback had a lot of confidence in where he was going with that football, Reese. I mean, that's a ball that needed to get there so much sooner. You got to put a little bit more mustard on that throw, and just lobbing the ball down the field like that, I don't know. You're asking for an interception.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have to...
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again. And the Golden Bears line up to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. No opportunity to run it back as the ball goes out of bounds. UCLA will go back to work on offense. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
Davis looking to pass. He looks that one in nicely. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the first down. Here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw. Coming after him. And they got him for the sack. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the third and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the catch past the sticks. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
Hey, that's a live ball. Bounced right back to them. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. So much for jumbo sets. They'll go 5 wide on 2nd and 2. He's looking to throw. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Going up top on first down. Getting some heat. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins.
And how about the offense? They spread them out. Everybody spread wide. Easier to read a defense when you do that. They find the matchup they want, and they get rewarded with the score.
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. That's the end of the period, and Cal is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they'd get him on the ground at the 20. Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
He wants to pass it on second down. Quickly complete. Tackled immediately after the catch. They were able to make the completion, but he had to pick his way for just a little bit. Needed a little more help to spring him for some yardage.
Yeah, if you're going to have success when you throw it outside like that, you're going to need some more block.
He lost it high and deep down the left side. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. Defense showing heavy blitz at the line. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
Man, I think this quarterback needs to take his offensive line out for dinners more often because they're not protecting him. And sometimes it doesn't even look like they're trying. That now the 6th sack of the game for this defense.
Open space at the 25. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Cal. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this 2-game slide.
That's a nice Nice job by this offense. Nice job putting the drive together late. This might seal this football game. And nice response. It's nice to be home, and come back to the home crowd after you've lost a couple games. Get some mojo going back in your way.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Army is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up off the canvas before, and it's capable of it again today. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Western Michigan. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. He's going to let it go. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Davis looking to pass. They're bringing heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Yeah, and you don't see that often, right? This guy is elite. He's one of the best in the business. This is what he does for a living, obviously. That's why he gets paid millions of dollars. Yes, NIL is real. So I don't expect many misses from this guy like that.
He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down. He wants to throw it again. Takes a hit as he fires. And that makes 5 interceptions in this one. The nightmare is alive. First down. They kept... When you deal with a rivalry game, you have to